So only have multicolor, but this set is a 3-color set, so I think there's like 66 multicolor cards. Anyhow, shall we start? They are ordered by guilds. That's kind of cool. Like it's Orzo first, then that's sweet. That's sweet. So we can get a better perspective about a color pair, a guild, a shard, a clan. Baron Steep Siege, 2 colorless, white, black. As this enchantment enters, choose Abzan or Mardu. Abzan at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Mardu at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. So I assume Abzan will be chosen most times. Yeah, this looks really, really good. I mean, you're buffing your creatures. The only issue I have with it, or like a one niche aspect, is there is no creature, or there's maybe like little creatures on your side. But these colors are about going white. Ascendancy. No, not Ascendancy. Was it Ascendancy? Whatever, the enchantment. You get what I'm talking about. It literally was the same ability. This card is really good, yeah. I don't think Ascendancy from Streets of New Capenna, the banned one. What was the banned guild again? Bonkers. Brokers, Bonkers. Yeah, Brokers Ascendancy. I don't think Broker's Ascendancy was an A+, but it was a really good card. But this kind of has like one of the most Broker's Ascendancy, which is already a good card. Yeah, I like A. I think Broker's Ascendancy was an A-. Funny is Broker's Ascendancy actually didn't perform that well, stat-wise. But I felt I was always happy having it, and I lost to it. Colorless white black 2/4. 1 colorless, sacrifice a token, draw a card. So stats are alright. The relation mana cost to power toughness, it's alright. I'm not unhappy playing a 3 mana 2/4. Upside, it's a payoff for all the Mardu tokens. You can sack the spirits as well. Sometimes spirits are bigger though, but this is a good payoff. We haven't seen many good payoffs for Mobilize. Pretty important, I would say, for your Mobilize decks. And playable in Abzan as well, obviously. So just a good card. Let's put this at, I would say, B-. I could see even B, but like I want B- because it has a danger of being a 3 mana 2/4, which is fine. But if your actual Mobilize cards doesn't have an attack, you lose that if you want to draw a card. And those scenarios are not card advantage. 2 colorless, white black, Death Touch. Whenever you attack, target creature gets +X/+X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Marshal of the Lost. There is no warrior payoffs as far as I know. They used to be in Khans of Tarkir. Immediate impact when it comes into play. It's not on this attacking, it's on any attacker. I think this is sick. What is the card? Slayer from Duskmourn. This pumps for way higher than the Slayer. And that card was already good. This card is better. This card is way better. Plus, in this set, you're gonna attack for a lot. You need to stack the triggers correctly, though. Resolve tokens first from Mobilize, and then pump. I think this is a B+. I like this card way more than the previous one, because this requires a setup. This just requires any creatures. I know Hill Giant, but at least a Death Touch in Hill Giant is still better than a Hill Giant, even at the surface. Purging Stormbrute, and I think this is the first 2-color dragon that we're seeing, like the dragon that has different colors on Omen and the dragon part. 4 colorless black for a 4/4 flyer, worth pay 2 life. When this creature enters, remove all counters from up to 1 target creature. The Omen part is an instant for white and colorless. Target creature gains +2/+2, gains lifelink and hexproof until end of the turn. I would probably want to play both parts if it was just an individual card. So I don't think I would mind them. I think the better part is the trick part. The trick part is pretty insane. Granding, lifelink, and hexproof. Strixhaven, or that was just hexproof and flying, right? +2/+2 hexproof flying. Lifelink is, I think it's a little bit better maybe, because how you're usually using tricks is you let the blocks happen first, and then you use a trick, and then lifelink matters more because flying If they engage already, it doesn't really matter, right? But it's also a protection spell. But the key is flexibility here, because the dragon part is good. The dragon 5 mana 4/4 is like a Sarah Angel type of stats, but with ward. Ward obviously, pay 2 life is worse than any other type of ward, I think. Because this one doesn't tax the mana, but still. There's also counters to remove, so even that ability comes up. So just a pretty cracked and flexible card. Would you play this without having access to one of the parts? I think it's pretty easy to pick up random lands. So even if you have 2 black lands in the deck, you can play the Omen parts, right? 2 black duals or something. Or the other way around. So I think this card is B+ card to me. 2 colorless blue, red, Vigi, Manus. This creature enters with 2 1/1 counters if you cast 2 or more spells this turn. Or 3. Okay, this one is interesting. You have to cast a spell first, then this if you want counters immediately. And then you're getting a 4 mana, 6/5 Vigi Manus. But that would be on turn 5 or 7, turn 5 or 6. 6/5 Vigi Manus is no joke. The downside is you don't have the second spell, or you cannot double spell. Your maybe hand is too expensive. Your hand is too land heavy. I don't think this is as powerful as if you compare it to the Orzo one, because this just doesn't have a big condition, right? And it's a pretty good comparison because they're both 4-drops. And this one, even if it dies, the next turn it's still granted a big attack. This one, if it dies to a spot removal, it doesn't grant an attack. That said, it's big, so this is 4/3 is just medium. I don't want to go too high on this. Probably C+. I'll go C+. I think there's, especially when we're talking double spelling, you don't want expensive cards to double spell. You want cheaper cards, and if you put too many 4-drops in a Jeskai deck or in your double spell deck, you can hurt yourself. Frostcliff Siege. So this is the Jeskai / Teamer Siege. Colorless blue, red. As this enchantment enters, choose Jeskai or Teamer. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to player, draw a card. And Teamer as creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample and haste. Way worse than the Mardu / Abzan one. It is cheap. It is 1 cheaper. What are you even choosing here most of the times? It's so scenario specific. Would this even be good if you had only 1 moat available? Yeah, this one is strictly bad if you're behind. Well, bad. You pump the creatures and hope they match well on the blocks. So I guess Teamer, you're choosing when you're a little bit behind. C+ for the upside. I don't want to go higher because it's this card that will really stink in some board states. And it's also not funny as the second ability it seems better in Mardu or Abzan. Glacial Dragon Hunt. Red blue, draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, this deals 3 damage to target creature. Harmonize 4 colorless blue red sorcery. Draw card, discard is so loot on, like, it's like a lightning strike with a loot. And you use it again, so it's a value lightning strike. This is really good. At sorcery speed, but I think we're happy at trading that for double lightning strike. At least a B. At least a B. Might be a B+. Because getting 2 removals at cheap, and the first part being cheap is really, really good. Would you pick this over a murder? Okay, early in the draft, maybe not later in the draft when you're in colors, probably. Runescale Stormbrute. 3 colorless red for a 2/4 flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell or dragon spell, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. On Omen part, it's an instant counter target spell with mana value 2 or less, 1 colorless, and a blue. The Omen part is whatever in limited, but it's a neat upside. It's gonna be a 2-drop when you don't have a 2-drop. So that's just really good plus, but the dragon part is pretty cracked. I really like the dragon part. And then there's this flexibility of being a pseudo 2-drop and also a 4-drop, so it smoothens out your mana curve. I think that is huge. Those cards are so important. There are some cards that don't have this quote-unquote add to the board or react to the board type of feeling on both parts, on Omen and Dragon part. This one has that. This one really has this quality. Same like the white common one. That's a cheap dragon. And you're gonna be, it has like a +2 prowess attached to it. On already a decent body, 4 mana 2/4 is way better than like a 4 mana 3/3. I'm going B+ on this as well. The same as this dragon. 4 colorless green 3/3 flying. When this creature enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Sorcery, Omen for colorless black, destroy target creature with power 3 or less. The Omen part is already a good card. You would play that. I think that's a solid card. And the funny is, those cards, they don't get nerfed by a power creep. Because the quality of the 2 and 3 drop raises, right? So if your sorcery speed removal, which by the way, this removal existed in other sets without the dragon part, still does the job. It kills better cards now if the two drops and 3 drops got power crept. Yeah, exactly. I think the black part makes it just, you don't need the green part. The green part is also good. There's enough enchantments. There's not that many artifacts, but you got the white has Oblivion Ring, blue has some removal, and enchantment. There's the sieges, which are rares, but it will feel insane when you kill a siege. Yeah, I guess ETBs make removal worse in general, but that's a little bit of a critique of modern Magic. Anyhow, that removal doesn't get power crept, but everything the creatures do. So now you're trading worse rate on removal for already generated value because of ETBs. Am I rating these too high? I want to rate this B+ as well. Okay, so we have Hollow Merc Siege, a black and a green. As this enters, choose Sultai or Abzan. Sultai, whenever a counter is put on a creature you control, draw a card. This ability triggers once each turn. Abzan, whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature and gains manas until end of the turn. Most of the times, you're just gonna choose Abzan. Like, the Abzan seems so much better unless you're behind, but when you're behind, you still need then the counters somewhere in the game, right? You need them either on a renew. Most of the counters are on the renew. Imagine having both 2 of these. Bad Innkeeper. Is it really that bad in Keeper's Talent? It makes your attacks better though. We're talking now Innkeeper Talents being one of the best cards in the set. So if it's even a little bit worse, it's still really good. I do think in some scenarios is better because setting up a big creature, that matters. This gives you like more of a one-dimensional application. I don't think the Sultai part is too conditional to have it alone on a card. But then again, it's a neat little flexibility if you sometimes really have a you need some kind of, you need more than just one card. You would need some kind of an engine. The Loxodon from in white, we see the 3/5 that puts a counter each turn. So I could see it with that card, but then they kill the Loxodon, this does nothing. Is it too high if I give this an A-? Because the upside is really high. I know there's downside to this card. There's real downside. You maybe don't have an attack still. Maybe we need B+. Maybe we need a B+, but I'm not going lower than B+, because the second ability is so good. Host of the Hereafter. 2 colorless black-green, 2/2. This creature enters with 2 1/1 counters. Whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, if it had a counter on it, put its counters on up to 1 target creature you control. Wait, it's a 4 mana 4/4. Still 4 mana. Everything seems 4 mana. Everything good seems 4 mana. This is the problem of a lot of new limited sets, that on 4 you're really getting a lot, but for a reason, right? 4 mana slot is really contestant. It does trigger on another creature, so you might get a really good attack in. Question is, how many cards will you realistically play with counters? Because we've seen some, but they were on expensive renew stuff. Okay, there's a lifelinker that's a 2-drop and gets you counters when it's in the graveyard. This one feels strong, but I don't think it's completely insane, because it has a big requirement, and it will depend on a deck also, or on a board state, but more on a deck. Like if you have a lot of counter synergies, this is obviously gonna be great. C plus for this. It's still pretty. It has the upside, let's put it this way. Stalwart's successor. 1 white, black, green, 3/2 manas. Whenever one or more counters are put on a creature you control, if it's the first time counters have been put on creature, this turn put a 1/1 counter on that creature. 3 mana, 3/2 manas is not the worst stat, by the way. It's way better than 3 mana, 2/3 manas, which we've seen in this set. It has this requirement where you need other stuff with it, so alone it doesn't do much. Alone it's pretty underwhelming. But all the endure stuff puts counters as well. Because if you endure, often you want to endure because you want to dodge removal. But if you just stack a counter, it's gonna get bigger, yeah, but it will still die to removal. So that this didn't grant value. There's a little bit of a contradiction in those game plans. It's only once per turn. Only once. I'm either on B or B minus. I need some convincing from the chat though. I'm saying B minus for now. Colorless red, white, 3/3 flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. A lightning helix to face, sorta. Wish it went creatures, but then it would be too good. I don't know. I don't like this that much. You need you would need a really dedicated deck for this to be so effective. And it's a neat little upside, but I think you're compromising stats here, and I don't like compromising stats. 3 mana, 3/3 is not great. No, the keyword is real. It's definitely there, right? 4 of a life swing is not nothing, but it comes at a compromise of a stats, and that's what really not that great in my opinion. Don't like it. C minus. Frontline Rush. Red white. Choose 1. Create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Target creature get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures you control. Yeah, this is a decent combat trick, and when it's not a combat trick, it makes 2 1/1s fine. You're going white in Mardu. You will be happy in playing this in Jeskai because it's like a pseudo 2-drop that's later cheap enough to double spell, or it's just flexible. Really flexible. I'll still say C plus on that because it doesn't have like an insane bomby type of effect, which a lot of uncommons do in this format, honestly. 5 colorless white. When this creature enters, you gain 5 life. It flies and it's a 5/4. Omen for 2 mana, colorless red. It deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. So again, Omen part is already a card. It's a roost. Was it a roost? Roast. Roost. Yeah, this is good. Like, you're playing this for the right part and then have a big dragon, which is not even like, which is good. 5 life is a lot. I think this card is also playable on the right part. We're rating all of these B+, and I think this is a B+ as well. I would be happy picking this over a lot of rares. Windcrack Siege, colorless red-white. As this enters, choose Mardu or Jeskai. Mardu, if an attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, this ability triggers an additional time. Jeskai, at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains lifelink and haste. You're choosing Jeskai, realistically. Still, even if you have, I guess you would have to have a lot of mobilized cards to go Mardu and immediately win. Swing all, create a bazillion tokens, and one-shot them. So it is realistically to choose Mardu, but most of the times you're choosing Jeskai, and the Jeskai part is a Goblin Rebel Master without the body, which is more, and the creatures don't need to attack, which is more resilient, let's put it this way. So I do, but it is upkeep. So if they haven't, like, if it doesn't survive, you're not adding anything on the board on 3. There, we saw some enchantment kill spells. Obviously, you're always gonna play this. Like, you're not gonna not play this because opponent has an enchantment, a removal in the deck. No, this is great. Still probably just a B+. I like the Abzan one, the Abzan Mardu better. Green, blue, return target card from your graveyard to your hand instant. So it's a littler regrowth. And when did we have regrowth? Well, regrowth was a sorcery. I think we had regrowth recently, so it's going to be easier to put this into context. Regrowth is a green and colorless sorcery. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. So literally the same, but but sorcery. I don't think instant sorcery here matters that much. I guess you get more info if we wait a turn. I think it's just a fact that regrowth effects got a little bit better because the decks are more aligned on the synergy, or combining two cards together creates a way higher impact or has a way better effect than in the past. So in that sense, you're getting a specific piece back, or bombs are even stronger. That they're more steamrolly than in the past, or you can get those back. So I think those effects, because those effects were pseudo unplayable back in the days, or pseudo like niche cards that you didn't really value high. But in modern Magic, I think these are pretty good. No, I like it. I just don't think it's anything. It's still a 1-for-1, but it has this neat setup application where you want a specific card, you get it, you maybe combo with it. Maybe you need a removal immediately, you get it. Great for double spelling. That's also true. Good point. It is in wrong colors maybe, so I'll go with C. Colorless green-blue. As this enchantment enters, choose Teamer or Sultai. Teamer, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 4 cards. Sultai, you may play lands from your graveyard. Are we gonna win with Teamer? If you expect to win with Teamer, this is okay. It might help opponent. I honestly think this is garbage in limited. Because if you want to mill yourself, you don't want to give a card away to mill yourself with the next cards you cast. So you only play this to mill opponent, but you're down a card to mill opponent. It's not even a body that would block. So I think this is like barely playable. This is a constructed card. I would say F. I would actually say this is an F, unless I could see somebody going off with like lands in this, in a sense, but not even. Everybody starts out as a Timmy though, usually, in Magic. So I was a Timmy at one point. Green-blue, 2/2 flying. Whenever a card leaves your graveyard during your turn, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. If you're based green-blue, this is crazy good. You cast it early, you get some attacks in, you play some renew cards, you play some harmonized cards, you thrive from value. It has this, what's the 2/3 from Duskmorn? It has this sort of a feeling. So uncommon bomb potential. B+, another B+, Bookworm. I think it's a little bit worse than Bookworm, because Bookworm was so good because this still, it's not the greatest blocker. And when you'd rather have a blocker when generating value. Does that make sense? I love these Omen dragons. These are just cool. They're also pretty powerful. And everything on them looks really cool. The design, I like the different colors on Adventure, and like just from an aesthetic point, I like these. 4 colorless blue, 4/3 flash flying. You may cast sorcery spells and dragon spells that thought they had flash. Sorcery for 2 colorless and a green. Put 3 1/1 counters on target creature you control. This one is the most underwhelming one still. This one is actually the worst out of the all 4. We reviewed 4 now, right? Because I don't think the flash part matters. I mean, it's neat to have a little upside. But then you're understatting a 4/5 mana card, and the sorcery speed can get blown out. So I don't know. Good card, but not near close to the other dragons. Yeah, but then they play a removal, right? And you effectively lost 2 turns, and you got 2 for 1. So I don't think you really want to play this on 3. This is too conditional to be really high rating. It's still an okay card. I would say just a C for this. Wait, how should I do this? Should we do it in Painter? Wait, do I have a Painter on? What's the colors anyhow? On the back, I have a Magic card here. It's a Wooded Foothills. Expensive demonstration, yeah. I need to look at the cards. What's the order? See the back of a card. Looks exactly like this. Okay, so idea is simple. Where do I have something like... So basically, the enemy colors are the one that go like this. We're getting a pentagram if you continue that. Chuk. So the conspiracy of Magic. No, but here's the idea, right? This goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Those are the enemy color pairs. And then if you would be in these pairs, you only get 1 guild. you only get Jeskai. So white-blue is your base. You can only go red from here. But if you go white-black, now you get Abzan, or you get... What do we get? Mardu. Mardu. See? You got more options, and more options is better. That's all it is to it. No, red and green are not enemy. These are enemies. You need to skip a color, and that's the enemy color. So these would be enemy colors. Not skip, but like the aligned colors are not the aligned colors are the friendly color. It's not gonna be from, you're not gonna go from these colors because you also miss on the 2 color cards. You're gonna go from these 2 colors because that gets you into also. It gets you into. Wow, that's degenerate. It gets you into Teamer or Jeskai. So there you go. But back to the set review now. I don't know if it helped. Maybe I made you more confused. Maybe my early explanation was better. and this is how also they designed it by printing, but they didn't print the aligned color 2 color pairs, right? They only printed enemy color pair cards. I'm the new Bob Ross. Thank you. I do the best I can. 3 colorless, white, black, green, 3/4 flying. When this creature enters, distribute 3+1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. 6 power, 7 toughness. Spread it across the board. This has to be these. It's expensive, so cannot go too high on it. But this is a good top end card because if they kill the body, 3 counters get left behind. So it has this sorta a 2-for-1, not that weak to removal type of feeling. It immediately impacts the combat in a sense that it makes your non-relevant creatures relevant and they can attack. Well, the flexibility is kinda taken away from being expensive, but yeah, it does make your board more flexible. I wanted to say B. I don't think this is... C+ is a little too low for this card because it's so splashable as well. You can be in Sultai and splash the white part. 2 colorless, white, black, green, 5/7 flyer. At the beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater, draw a card. Then if a creature you control have total toughness 20 or greater, untap each creature you control. Then if a creature you control have total toughness of 40 or greater, each opponent loses half their life, rounded up. So I guess realistically 10 or greater is the number you're aiming for, or that's how we rate the card. Everything else is probably a win more because if you have 20 toughness, your board is so big that you're gonna win. But it will likely draw you a card immediately on the turn it comes down. But funny is that the first part is the best anyhow. I think this is good. It's 5 mana, 5/7 flying. Draws a card. So a 2-for-1 if they have a kill spell already. Otherwise it keeps on drawing cards. Probably also keeps on attacking and and chipping the life total away. Is this already A territory, chat? Or is it still a B+? I'm either on A-, B+. I'll say A-. It has a really high upside. White, black, green, 3/3 trample. Whenever Felodar enters or attacks, you may sacrifice an online permanent. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So you stack the mobilize triggers correctly. You sack the token, buff everything. It is on enter, so it has immediate impact. I do like this. It pumps itself, right? Pumps itself, so it's a 4/4. You do want to cast it to sack something, so you need like a random spirit or... one big downside, I guess, is that it's a 3-mana casted card, but on 3, you don't want to cast this on 3 either way, right? It's like a late game card, so it's pretty splashable. Because sometimes these are weird, because even if the set is 3 colors, you won't have this mana on 3 because you're splashing one of the colors. But then again, you have to evaluate it. Is it a good 3-drop? This is a good late game card. This is something you actively want to cast, develop the board, cast late, so I don't view it as a 3-drop. I would say A- also. I think the effect is pretty sick. It has a big floor of not having a big board or not having anything that you want to sack. 2 colorless or 6. Well, it's a split mana, so you can either pay white or 2 black or 2 green or 2. Exile target permanent with mana value 3 or greater. Instant speed. So you can play this for 4 without having access to all 3 colors. 5 if you only have access to 1. I assume you're gonna have access to 1, so varies from 3 to 5, pretty good. I still like Murder better because it's easier to cast. This would be then B- type of removal. Doesn't kill early stuff. Parent Nation. Is that how you read this? 3 colorless, white, black, green. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield with hexproof and indestructible. Sorcery. So the most feel bad card of the set confirmed. Better pick up sacrifice effects. No, this is insane. It's expensive, but and you need a good creature in the yard, which I assume you'll get, but it's gonna feel bad whenever they get a bomb back. There are some downside. Even if creatures trade, you'll get something maybe like a 4-drop back, and that 4-drop will be understated in that sense. But then again, you're gonna self-mill, and if you're self-milling, you get a better selection. I think it's a bomb. I think this is A territory. A- territory, probably, because alone it still requires something, but the requirement is not that insanely hard to pull off. I would say you really want some self-mill. You want to get something big, something 6-7 mana costed. Okay, we got the 2 colorless and a split. A spliff. 2 colorless white, 2 colorless black, 2 colorless or green. When this creature enters or dies, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It's a 2/2. So 3 power, 4 power worth of stats with counter synergy. Hard, like 4 mana. Realistically, it's a 4-drop. Realistically, sometimes it's a 3-drop. How is this not a turtle? Yeah. Well, because the creature is this character. Meh. It's flexible in a sense that it distributes the counter, but D+, playable when synergizes. Awkward because it's expensive most of the time since you're not gonna cast it on 3. White, black, green, colorless. Stage 1, create 3 1/1 white spirit creature tokens. Stage 2, distribute 3 1/1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures. 3 creatures you control gain trample and lifelink. So you're getting, for 4 mana, which obviously has some restriction, it's in 3 colors, you're getting 6 power on 3 different flyers today. No flying. Okay, it's spirits. Never mind. Spirits fly in my head because lingering souls. No flyers. Still probably good. Okay, if no flying, obviously way worse. It's hard to give this anything below B+. Now we're talking, is this A- worthy? It does play into all synergies, and it's a good rate for its mana cost. I think I might want this at A-. I want this at A-. I think it's a banger, yeah. White, black, green, 3/3 Death Toucher. When this creature enters, target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, exile that card. When this creature leaves, the exiled card's owner creates an XX white spirit creature token, where X is the mana value of the exiled card. This is better in constructed. Still okay in limited. If you get an Elspeth, you're happy. Because sometimes the creature... It's funny, right? You can take a kill spell, then they don't kill it. But if they draw a kill spell, their kill spell turns into tempo because they get a card back. So I don't think I like this that much. You don't also want to trade this Death Toucher that many times. Yeah, but 3/3 Death Toucher for this mana cost is awful. I mean, I would play a 3 mana 3/3 Death Toucher, but this is not a 3-drop. If you're, because your mana is, yeah, sometimes it is a 3-drop, but often it's just clunky. So I don't think this is that great. I would go ability alone. I mean C, but maybe the restriction makes it even lower, the color restriction. Yeah, maybe C-. I like C-. White, black, green for a 3/4 trample enters, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. This mana cost versus 4 mana, because it's restrictive. It's not big of a difference. You would rather than have more power toughness, right? Still a good card because Siege Rhino was really good. So good, but I don't think it's as busted as maybe people think because the nostalgia factor is real here. I think the mana cost and limited is restrictive here. And if you're not casting this on 3, it already lost some impact. Then a 4/4 blocks it. And a random common blocks it. Yeah, you deal some damage. I think this is just a C+. Still good at 4. That is true. Although there are some better 4 drops potentially than this. Even at common. Colorless white, black, green, 3/3. When this creature enters, if you cast it, mill 4 cards. When you do, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. A really cool Gravedigger. Oh, to your hand, to the battlefield. Wait. That's kind of sick. And it helps you mill. So it's gonna be, I assume you'll have a high chances hitting a 3-drop. So it's like a 7 mana worth of card, kinda. Well, 7 mana, the creature is understated. I would say you realistically get like 6 mana worth of value. And pretty good casting it on 4. I think this is a banger. B+, A- card, A- potentially. Could even hit a Rhino, yeah. Blue, red, white, 3/3 first strike. When this creature enters, copy the next spell you cast this turn when you cast it. You may choose new targets for the copy. Enters, copy the next spell this turn when you cast it. So you need this plus another creature. But this copies anything, copies creatures as well. So basically it's a setup. It's like a snapcaster for creatures. 8+. I do like these effects, so it can be a 3-drop. It's actually flexible because it's 3 mana, 3/3 first striker, but you would have to then have the mana on 3. It has this what's the feeling of the 3/1, which was really good from March of the Machine. The Teamer card, the bird, the 3/1 bird that gave you a spell from the yard back, but this works with your hand, but can get you creatures as well. I like B+. The upside is way higher, but just because the setup is maybe awkward. Colorless blue, red, white. 2/4 double strike prowess. Simple. What I don't like, that 4 drops in these colors are contradictive to what your plan is. You want to be double spelling, so your deck doesn't want 4 drops, because 4 drops are already expensive. You can only double spell on 5 if you have a 1 drop. You can only double spell on, I don't know, if you have a 3 drop on 7. You get the idea, right? It's too late for double spelling. I would just say C for this. I don't want to go higher. I just don't think it will be a cut in a lot of the most dedicated Jeskai decks. I think it's fine to play it when you don't get there. You need a filler on the curve. Or colorless, blue, red, white. Return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. Jeskai Revelation deals 4 damage to any target. Create 2/1/1 monk creature tokens with prowess. Draw 2 cards, you gain 2 life. It's 7 mana. Kills something, bounces something, creates 2. So it's like, okay, return is not a value, but it's tempo. But tempo on 7 is hard to talk. I would say 2/1/1s are worth a card. 2 cards for 4 for 1. 4 for 1 of value. Which is good. Which is really good. You often will get a token though, like a big token sometimes even. There's some like, I think there's a Teamer elephant token. There's some spirit tokens are like 3/3s. I do think this is good. It's just expensive, so I could see some Jeskai decks just being completely hyper aggro, so they can double spell more effectively. But then whenever you have a normal Jeskai deck, or even better, I would say this is like a really good splash in your 4 color piles, 5 color piles, like good stuff piles. I would rather have it there. I would rather have it in good stuff piles, and this is insane, kinda, in those decks. So I think it goes more that, it trends more that direction. It's a really splashable card as well. You're in Teamer, you play green, already kind of have good mana, Teamer mana, splash white, why not? Those decks are like wanna go big, they wanna ramp. I would say B+ because of expensiveness. Maybe A-. Jeskai Shrinekeeper, 2 colorless, blue, red, white. 3/3 flying haste. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 1 life and you draw a card. So has this Ojutai type of wipe, but worse stats. Dragon Lord Ojutrai. This one is hard for me to rate because it's another expensive card for the Jeskai builds, but I think you're likely getting the first card. I'm not buying a 5 mana 3/3 flyer at all though. And what makes it really even worse is that there's a 4 mana 4/4 reacher at common that's really good in green. So it naturally won't attack into this. You're on the play. They play a 4/4 reacher that often wants to stay back. 3/3 really down, like 3/3 is really hard for this. I would want to like it because the effect is so good and a hasting creature. I would say C+ for that, but yeah. Best art in the set. Look at how sophisticated this art is. I usually don't like this like centered, like perfectly centered art where everything is on spot on the picture. But this one is so satisfying to look at. So I cannot read the card now. I'm mesmerized by the art. 2/3 flying Vigi. When this creature enters, put up to one target non-creature non-land card from your graveyard on top of your library. This is a better card than this. Prove me wrong. It's not card advantage, but it gets you removal back. It gets you the double spell card back. Don't like this. It's nothing to push though, yeah, that's true. But cards like that were historically alright. You would always want to draw into another removal, right? No, it doesn't go into hand. Keep that in mind. It's still equal on card value. It just... So I'm rating this a C+. Blue, red, white, 3/4. At the beginning of your end step, you may discard your hand if you do draw cards equal to the number of spells you cast this turn. This is a pretty good payoff for your double spell, but it requires a lot of setup. Timis will never get this card. I do think it has a floor though, so... I guess when you empty your hand, you cast what you draw, you get it back. Pretty good. Nothing, doesn't do much early game, often. But then again, it's also pretty restrictive to cast it early game. Probably realistically a B+ for the upside. 2 colorless blue, red, white. The next time a source of your choice will deal damage to you this turn, prevent the damage. When damage is prevented this way, this deals that much damage to that source's controller and you draw that many cards. You don't get blown out. How would you even get blown out? They bounce it before, they kill it before dealing damage and it's a value thingy. Is this secretly really good? Although it feels like a conditional 5 mana draw 3 with some upside of sometimes drawing like 6 cards. Yeah, I agree. These cards usually always look exciting. Even the Flectic Palm looked exciting, but it was kind of bad. This might be just bad. Like let's be real. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Like you'd often rather have 5 mana draw 3 because it's less conditional. You'll draft and play it. I'll go D- for this. Blue, red, white. This is the second saga. So I guess we're getting a saga in each tri-pair, tri-clan, whatever. So stage 1, 2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell on stage 3, target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. Slow divination with selection, with really huge selection. That's not nothing. It's costly. It is costly. Not in sense that 3 would be an expensive mana cost, but it's restrictive mana cost. Sets you up for double spelling really well. Sets you up for maybe a big attack. I don't hate this actually. A slow stock up, yeah. Well, how do we rate that? Like a C+? So blue, red, white, or instead of the colored mana, you pay 2 for each. Tap target creature, put 3 stun counters on it, exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one. Until end of your next turn, you may play that card. So it's a little bit different than the stun cards that we've seen on 2 mana. This is obviously more expensive, but it gets the card back. It's not a real removal. Not a real removal, but yeah, it feels alright, honestly. It feels alright, expensive still. So I don't want to rate this high. I would even go C minus. 2 colorless blue, red, white for Shiko, Paragon of the Way. 4/5 flying Vigi. When enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, copy it. Then you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. You're getting a lot for 5. You're getting a lot. Already a 5 mana 4/5 Vigi flyer is okay. This is a bomb, yeah. This is an A minus card. Still requires a card in the graveyard, but whenever you have something to cast back, awesome. Green, black, blue. Destroy target non-land permanent on stage 1. On stage 2, mill 3 cards. On stage 3, you may discard a card. When you do, return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. 3 mana kills something. Obviously restrictive mana cost. Still good. Milling, okay. Upside in Sultai, so we are in these colors. Get a creature back, also great. Obviously at the cost of a card, but you'll discard land at this stage, probably. No, this is to me an A minus card. The fact that you get then... You're already milling, so you don't even need a card in the yard. You can mill a card in the yard, but you're probably gonna get, at that stage, some sort of a bomb that died or some sort of a good creature that died back, so... 5 colorless black, green, blue. Destroy all creatures and enchantments. Draw a card for each permanent destroyed this way. What if you mill yourself? Well, realistically, that can happen, especially in Sultai. I mean, it's good, but I don't even like that much. Didn't we get an one-sided one that did the same? Which was busted, but it was also 8 mana. 6 black, black, yeah. Wasn't that one-sided with the same ability? Obviously, no enchantments, but target opponent, yeah. Overwhelming Forces. Destroy all creature target opponent controls. Draw a card for each creature destroyed that way. That card was fantastic, by the way. Was still 8 mana, but it was a really good card. This is way, way worse. I don't think this is that good. This is actually kind of bad. And there's a chance that you mill yourself. What do we give that? I still don't want to go below C, because, I mean, you're gonna kill 5 creatures often, you're gonna draw 5 cards, you're gonna win the game the next turn. Then there's gonna be scenarios where you never cast it because it's too expensive, and then there are scenarios where you mill yourself. I feel B as a sweet spot. I could get convinced on C+. Realistically, how I like to draft is it's a C for me. You're gonna be dragged into this, and then you're gonna have a pile that's not playable. Fangkeeper's Familiar. Colorless black, green, blue. 3/3 flash. When this creature enters, choose 1. You gain 3 life and surveil 3. Destroy target enchantment, counter target creature spell. The snake is a good card. The OG snake that countered. And it would probably still be alright. A little bit expensive for a 2/2. This one is a 3/3 compared to the snake. Mystic Snake is the card. Can we go exclamation mark card for YouTube Mystic Snake? So they see. I need to start editing the cards in I'm referencing in YouTube videos, but right now I don't have the time because I need to publish all of them by the set release. The next time I'm gonna do these earlier. Hopefully the sets drop earlier also. Frilled Mystic is another one, yeah. Frilled Mystic was hard to cast and it was also good. Yeah, I like this. I wouldn't go too high on it. I would say B plus even. I think this is definitely B plus. 2 colorless black, 2 colorless green, 2 colorless or blue. It's a 3/3. When this creature enters, look at the top 3 cards. You may put one of those cards back on the top of your library. Put the rest into graveyard. Man, I'm so bad with names. What's the Innistrad card? 4 mana 3/2 that has the same effect but draws you a card. This is pretty terrible for today day and age. Give me a card in hand. Come on. Organ Hoarder, yeah. Like Organ Hoarder is like a trillion times better than this. But that card was busted. It does fill the yard. Like I get all that, but we had efficiency on this sort of effect and those weren't even good cards. And this one is hard to cast. I think this is just a D or D minus. I'll say D because synergy, D minus because you can do better. 1 colorless black, green, blue, flying. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard during your turn, create a treasure token. Renew 2 black, green, blue. Exile this card from your graveyard. Put 2 1/1 counters and a flying counter on target creature. activate as a sorcery. It's a 3/3 flyer. Does a lot. Does a lot. It's a kind of value card, so it's a hill giant flyer with value, even if you never make a treasure. And the value is real. The value is really good. Even if you mill it, 2 counters and a flying counters demand an answer. So it immediately makes any random creature a threat. This is really good. Yeah, the only flaw of this card is a hill giant flyer with really awkward mana cost. But then again, it does so much more. So I would say a B+ and move on. Colorless black, green, blue, indestructible, 2/1. Deals combat damage to player, exile the top X cards of their library, where X is the amount of damage dealt. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from among them without paying their mana cost. This is not good in limited, is it? What am I missing? How are you connecting with this? Would you play a 4 mana 2/1 indestructible? You need to pump it, basically. You need counters. But still, I mean, at the core, where's flying on you? You need to give it a flying counter. Win more. Yeah, this is bad, I think. For limited context, obviously the commander players might like this, and the blue aura, yeah, gives it flying. Still need 2 cards to make like 1 card good. I wouldn't say it's completely unplayable, but feels like too much work to get going. So for limited context, D-. AB Corrigan, you were like a part of this set's design team, you're saying, right? If I understand you correctly. That's kind of dope. If we have somebody in chat that designed the card. So now we get the real evaluation. We can get into the mindset of a card designer. Black, green, blue. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. This deals damage equal to the card's power to target creature. Sorcery. Wait, this is a 2/1 removal? 3 mana. What's the card? That was a 6 mana card like that. It was instant though, which was obviously. But that one fought. This one deals damage. It goes to hand. This one, the other one went to the battlefield. Okay. Still pretty good actually. It's like a mini back for more, but some restrictions. Like the back for more was a reanimation spell. This one is a Gravedigger effect. I like that. I like that a lot. Am I bad at rating everything a B+? What's good? But this is a B+ to me. You'd go B, B-. I can see B because it really doesn't kill everything. But then again, whenever removal is a 2/1, that feels like better than a B removal. And often this will kill a lot. Okay, I'll go B. I convinced myself and you guys convinced me. 2 colorless black, green, blue, 3/6 lifelink. When this creature enters, search your library for a black card, green card, and a blue card. Put those cards into your graveyard. Imagine saying hand. I was like, when I read it, I was excited. Now I disappointed. It's still not nothing to have a 3/6 lifelinker. You probably get the Harmonize Renew card. At least, basically, it gets you 2 cards probably that are value in the yard. I won't say this is like a bomb, but it's like efficient and value and okay rate for its mana cost. By the way, lifelink feels devastating versus Mobilize. How is Mobilize ever attacking if you have lifelink? I like B on that. Might be low. And I'm probably gonna play this card and value it really high because it's a fun card to build around. I always liked this sort of mana cost, but now I hate it because I have to read it and I never know how to read it. But I always liked it as when it was first introduced, these sort of cards. The flexibility on this mana cost. So hybrid of 2 or black, 2 or green, 2 or blue. Instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So for 4 mana, this is Factor Fiction style. I don't think it makes a big difference if you cast this for 3 or a 4, because you never want to cast this early anyhow, or never. You'd rather add to the board in limited if you have the option. C+, am I too low? 2 colorless black, green, blue, 6/6 lifelink. Spells you cast have Delve. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value. I mean, 5 mana, 6/6 flying lifelinker, yes sir. But then you gain life. So I guess there's no big downside. It's just a big dragon. Just a big dragon. In limited, the Delve part, does that really matter? Are you gonna construct your deck differently because you have that? No, because it wins anyhow if it sticks, right? Cannot be an A if it can get 1/1 to it removal, I think. Unless it would be a 2-mana insane stat. Wait, how does it draw a card? What am I missing? Spells you cast have Delve. So it just makes the other spells cheaper. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value. So it's just like a big flying lifelinker, which is good. B plus because the 5-mana 6/6 flying lifelinker is an insane stat. Oh, we're Mardu territory now. So is it Mardu or Mardon't? 2 colorless red, white, black. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and have that touch. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you next attack this turn, untap each creature you control. So how many main phases? How many? So you get 2, right? You get 2 combats. Glorious Anthem grants that touch and gives you 2 combat phases. 2 combat phases are weird and limited because if your creatures dies, the second combat phase doesn't matter. So you would want some sort of flank. That touch makes it kind of interesting. They have to block everything. Not terrible. Interesting. There is a floor though. There is a big floor. 2 combat phases are insane with mobilize. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. Glorious Anthem with that touch. Well, 5-mana Glorious Anthem with that touch. B plus still for me. I like my Ace to have unconditional power, if that's a combination of words to describe what I want to tell. Colorless, red, white, black, 4/4 mobilize 2. Attacking tokens you control have that touch. They're not really that similar, but one without a board does something. The other one, you get the idea, right? The other one without a board doesn't do anything. I'll go B on this. Pretty good. There's a difference though. This one, if they have a kill spell, they just kill everything on it. Nothing matters. This one, if they have a kill spell, still matters with other creatures. The tokens then basically just connect or trade for value. 2 colorless red, 2 colorless or white, 2 colorless or black. Deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalkers and you gain 2 life. There's better removal, but I guess removal nevertheless. It has this lightning helix quality to it, even if it's expensive. But yeah, cannot rate this that high. So maybe like a CC plus. A little bit like Siphon Fuel, but a little bit better at maybe double spelling at one point and stuff. Colorless red, white, black. This spell can be countered. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. So it's a Siege Rhino, but instead of a creature, you get a kill spell. This is also okay. I mean, good. It's really good. 4 mana, kill anything, drain. And the drain is quite big. I like B on that. Yeah, the mana cost is restrictive. There are scenarios where a murder will be more impactful. Yeah, it kills also the Sieges, the Oblivion Ring. It kills Elspeth, but Elspeth already left something behind. But you're probably losing if you don't kill Elspeth. Even Exile, yeah. Colorless red to white, black. That touch haste when this creature enters, exile up to 1 other target creature you control until this creature leaves. Whenever this creature attacks, for each opponent, create a tap token that's a copy of the exiled card attacking that opponent. Sack it at the end step. 4/4. 4/4 that touch haste for 4. That attacks for way more. Oh, and ETBs. No, mobilize doesn't really work, does it? Because it's already tapped in and attacking. It's worded like that. Oh no, it's up to 1 target creature you control. I thought it, for whatever reason, okay, I'm delusional now. I thought it killed opponent stuff, which would be completely stupid. Yeah, still okay, still good. Like you need ETBs for that to be the most effective. I thought it was the best card, yeah, for limited. It's a fun card. What do we rate it? B plus, A minus, B plus, right? You can exile your Endure cards. That's actually kind of good. And there's a lot of ETBs on Endure. I can convince myself in the right deck to be an A minus, but it's more about realizing the application rather than putting a letter on it. 1 colorless red, white, black. Flying, if a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. 4/5. So it makes sure all your mobilized tokens go for like double strike. Okay, it's a 4 mana, 4/5 flyer, but on restrictive mana, obviously. So that alone is probably like a B tier with the ability. I think it's just a B card. I don't know. Maybe I'm underrating it. I don't picture that many boards where we will have too many mobilize cards and then they will still block your mobilize creature. Yeah, they will take some damage, but the creature will still die. Build around B plus A minus, but in vacuum B. Is that maybe how we want to put it? So the grading is still like B plus. I picked Jeskai at the pre-release. You should look deep inside your heart and ask yourself what's your favorite guild. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Don't let other define your clan. They just want an extra member. 2 colorless or red, 2 colorless or white, 2 colorless or black, 3/3 mobilize 1. When this creature enters, target creature get +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Kinda has this Hill Giant feeling because it's often gonna be 4 mana, 3/3 mobilize 1, but a Hill Giant that pushes another attack through. It also pairs really well with other mobilize stuff because you get a free attack. So I must say this is not that bad. So a C for me. C is a solid playable. You're happy having this, I think. Maybe don't want too many because it still they can get costly if your mana doesn't get there. It's easy to like put all the random stuff on a Hill Giant, but at the core it's still gonna be a Hill Giant. 2 colorless red to white black, 4/4 flying. When this enters, it deals 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. If a player is dealt damage this way, they discard a card to any target. Okay, so we're talking like a Flame Tonka Wu type of effect, kills small creatures. And a 2/1 if it goes face. Okay, this is really good. This is uncommon also. This might be okay. Mardu. I mean, Mardu just goes higher in my eyes now. Mini Flame Tongue Dragon. I like B plus. Okay, let's compare. What did we rate A minus? We need a comparison here. A minus for this. I could see the dragon being close to that. I think this card is still better than the dragon. So I kind of like B plus. Maybe we need to rate this guy higher, the removal. This is also a B plus. Red, white, black. You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Whenever a creature you control enters this turn, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This is stage 2 and 3. So a read the bones type of card on the stage 1, then well, it's a setup card. It does kinda do a lot of damage. I think feels worse than Jeskai and okay, the mobilize part on here matters so much, right? Sometimes it's gonna one shot. So I guess the synergy context is pretty important here. It has by far the best end mode, maybe, but it has the worst first mode. And the opponent will see it coming, but sometimes won't do anything about it. I want to like it. I'll say below B. B minus maybe. It feels too often it will turn into a read the bones. Okay, I'll say it. I like mobilize because it makes us talk about mobilize so much. I think that was a good choice for the design team to go with a it's a way more interesting concept that go for a generic go white team for limited at least. So I think in that sense it's a really good design. All right, we have a red, white, black 2/4 mobilize 2. During your end step, warriors tokens you control have this token can't be sacrificed. So this one lets your mobilized creatures live, which is interesting. But sometimes they will have enough creatures to block and then they just block them. So they don't live. So another card where the floor is real, the upside is real. It's at least a creature that already mobilized 2 and 2/4 is somewhat of a stat. It's a stat that it's relevant to some degree. This card will feel really bad for Oppo. Whenever opponents stumble, you go this on 3, you attack. They cannot block profitably. The tokens stay. What, B plus B? Often it does something when it comes into play, but the tokens need to live. So this is the big... Because I think the mobilize gets really hosed by just people having the same curve as opponent has. You know what I mean? If the curves match equally, mobilize is getting hosed. That's my concern. They block this, the tokens die. So that application is also real. That's another floor, another L. There's a lot of Teamer fans in the chat. I think I choose Teamer at my first, at the OG cons pre-release. Nobody was really high on green back in the days. People just like blue. The control was the blue was the new green. 3 colorless green, blue, red for enchantment. When this enchantment enters, it deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 4/4 dragon creature token with flying. A board wipe that makes dragons. Sign me up. Well, land top decks become dragons. That's good, right? But there's a chance you don't get the dragon immediately because you don't have land. So that's one of the floors I see. But still, sometimes killing the board might be worth 6 mana, or 3 damage might be worth 6 mana. Depends on what you're playing against. Is Teamer control? Teamer is probably the definition of mid-range. This card seems good, yeah. It doesn't require a lot of setup. It's just the expensiveness is sometimes awkward because you still need to get to 6. There's Evolving Wild synergy. There's also ways to fetch lands. Some decks will want that. And ramping into this is good. Is this too high for an A-? I kind of like A- on this. While there is a slight floor to this, often it's just gonna dominate late game. And it's probably worth putting it into any Teamer deck. So we have a 2 Brit card. 2 colorless green, 2 colorless blue, 2 colorless or red. Double the power of or toughness of target creature you control. Then it fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. These are really expensive for what they do, but this one is one of the good ones, I think. So not also insane. If you cast this for 4 mana, it feels similar to Hunt the Weak, which wouldn't be that great of a card anymore. I would still say just a C. Conditional removal that you don't mind playing, but you'd rather have it, it's cheaper. Colorless, green, blue, red. Vigi Trample Ward 1, 4/4 Human Warrior. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast both a creature spell and a non-creature spell, draw a card and put 2 counters on this. I guess I'm happy with this stat. How likely are you gonna cast both? Sometimes. Then it's kinda okay. But it's not an upside that's really... I mean, it's not an ability that's easy to obtain. C+ seems about right. Maybe B- for the upside. 3 colorless, green, blue, red. Flying Vigi Trample. Oh, this was the dragon you were talking about. This creature has hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet. 6/5. Okay, this and the Mardu dragon are pretty pushed. But 6 mana. Yes, it's good. It's 6 mana though. So I like the Mardu a little bit more. And Mardu we rated really high, B+. I think we can rate this B+ as well. Maybe B. 6 mana is a lot, but obviously the stats on it are great. Yeah, it's only for 1 attack though. Yeah, like sometimes they don't have the luxury to take 6. Are you really playing too many combat tricks in a deck with a 6-drop? That's then another question you need to meditate on. Because usually combat tricks are better than aggro and those decks don't want 6 drops. But yeah, you can get 1 for 1. What are you talking? You attack, they take the damage, they kill the dragon. That's a 1 for 1. 2 colorless, green, blue, red. Create a 5/5 green elephant creature token. Harmonize for 8. So 5 colorless, green, blue, red. So imagine this getting bounced. I'm playing that 5 mana 3/3 that bounces a 5/5. This card is really good if they don't have a bounce though. In vacuum, B, when we're considering bounce and all the applications where tokens are bad, B, B-. Yeah, the token makes you cast the other part, that is true. 2 colorless, green, blue, red. So stage 1 and 2, create a 5/5 elephant token. 3, double the power and toughness of each creature you control. Okay, so if you like this, you gotta like that. It's the same card, but better in every aspect. This is A territory for me. It just doesn't require any work. You just play it and it does everything on itself. It's a brainless card. I don't like those cards though in the set. Cards that require thinking. The card plays the game for you. 4 is blue-red, 3/2 flash. When this creature enters target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard, gains Harmonize until end of turn. its harmonized cost is equal to its mana cost. Oh, it's a Snapcaster. It's almost a Snapcaster. Hard to cast Snapcaster. I wouldn't say this is exactly an A. It's just a 2-for-1, but a really efficient 2-for-1. Gets your best removal back. But I can get sold on A- easily. I wanted to say B+, but could see A-. This is just really, really good. Like, really, really good. I like B+, just efficient. Doesn't do anything too bomby, but efficient. Teamer Battle Crier. Green, blue, red. For a 4-3 during your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. I'm really not buying this card that much for limited. You can get stuff cheap, but if you're gonna have big board of big creatures, everything, you will cast everything expensive already. So this one 3 is okay, but it's also restrictive to cast. I'll go C. Maybe C+, because of... But 3 mana 4-3, is that really that good on this restrictive mana cost? 2 colorless or green, 2 colorless or blue, 2 colorless or red. When this enters, draw a card, then discard a card. A 4-3. I'll give you a C-. Because if you cast this for 4, draw a card, discard a card, that's the card we've seen. It's okay. Looting is a little bit better than it used to be in the past. Because looking for specific cards enables synergy, and synergy is a little bit more present. Like 2-card synergy combos are more present in modern Magic. 5 green, blue, red. Flying protection from white and black. When enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures. Planeswalkers you control, where excess number of lands you control. 10-10, so impossible to kill. Well, you can put a... is there like a stun aura in blue? It's impossible to fight it unless you have a Death Toucher. Oh, it's 8 mana. Okay, never mind. 8 mana is even a higher restriction, so a worse Atraxa. Confirmed. I'm not buying an 8 mana card to be an A. B+. Reanimated, yeah. There's not that many real reanimation spells though. Most of the times it goes into hand. Man, I need to give it an A- to make the Timmys watch me in the future. But my heart says, or I want to give it a B+. You guys are missing this part of the card. This is 8 mana. I mean, it doesn't do anything better than the demon from Crimson Wall. And that was obviously a busted card, but it was 7 mana. No, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a game plan. don't talk F now. Let's not talk F now. We're talking from B to A territory, and I would rather be on the B+ for this than A-. I'm also not usually picking expensive cards in limited, so an 8 mana card in a normie deck is not a playable card. That's something to realize. You need ramp, you need either like a really good controlling plan. So you need something else. It's not, you don't just put this in a deck without building around it. To 8, you're not gonna get most of the games, even with format maybe being slower. But funny how basically mana cost is often not a restriction for a lot of people. and you can always go, damn, I didn't draw the lands. It was all luck, but I would have won otherwise. And that makes you feel better. And yeah, I agree. Like, back in the days, you didn't have the support to... Because, like, this goes multiple ways. If you're not drawing additional cards, you're not getting to 8 on curve. And if you're getting to 8 on curve, you haven't played anything, because you have certain amount of draws, and then you need certain amount of playable cards and certain amount of lands, right? So you either need ramp or you need card draw. And if you played a lot of cards, you're probably not surviving by... If you played a lot of card draw that doesn't add to the board, you're not surviving by turn 8. So see how this is all connected. You really need to craft your deck well to be able to support an 8 draw. So the 5 mana card, 5 color card, Wooburg card for last. Dragons you control have indestructible. On an enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep, for each color, put a 1/1 counter on a dragon you control of that color. If you put a 1/1 counter on 5 dragon this way, you win the game. Wait, let's rate this first, then I'm gonna answer the questions. need to process it. The mana cost is alarming, but obviously obtainable in this set. I wouldn't say you want this even with dragons. Well, I guess you need, if you have like how many dragons? And how do you construct a deck with so many dragons? So Omens help, right? Because of flexibility, you can do cheaper stuff. But you would need probably 7 dragons to have like 2 in play for this to be really absurd. I think 2 dragons plus this are already kinda a combo. But no, I wouldn't want to pursue this. I mean, I will pursue this in early access, but everybody will do so. So will you even get that in early access? I would say this is a pretty niche card, and only the brave will dare. But the biggest issue here is there's no cheap dragons almost. And I would want cheap dragons for this to curve out into that. Early access is tomorrow, so Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm not buying this card. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think this is possible to build around. Your deck will be just expensive. So even if you set it up and the upside is high, you have a likelihood of just not having a curve in the deck. Because 2 dragons with 2 indestructible dragons, you're probably well off, right? But you need to have them consistently with this, which is probably a 15 mana of investment. That's the issue. 66 cards, 4 hours. Yeah, we were pretty. We're going into details. I'll shrink it down to 1 hour and a half probably for YouTube. I swear. I shrunk white. White was 2 hours, and I shrunk it down to 50 minutes. What now? The set review is done. We're 4 hours into the stream almost. We could do some cube.